What I understood is that coaches who follow a specific model will potentially be replaced by AI coaches because the difference between a human coach and an AI coach is that human element. It's that connection that we bring. It's our intuition, our experience, that gut feeling, that emotional intelligence that we bring to every single session and every single client that makes us stand out more. That's the difference between a human coach and a coaching agent. Now, does the story end here? Definitely not. This is the first step for me. And if you've noticed, anything that I would approach would be done on a step-by-step basis, just to test it, just to put my feet in cold water first before I plunge in. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm testing Alexis to see how the response rates are, whether it's worth it, if she's working, if she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Then the next step is to create more coaching agents, which would be then on the marketplace on Coachbot.ai. And that's how we can bring coaching to the world at scale. Welcome to Present Potential. I'm your host, Hassan, and the reason I launched this podcast is to create a ripple effect of optimism that reaches 1 billion people in the next decade. Ambitious? Very. Scary? A little bit. The aim of Present Potential is to empower listeners by sharing stories of individuals who've turned challenges into opportunities, proving that we all have untapped potential. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you've tuned in before, thank you for your support, and I hope you find value in these conversations. Welcome to another episode of Present Potential. I'm your host, Hassan, and today I'm making two very exciting announcements. First of all, I'm so thrilled, pleased, energized to announce that Present Potential has a sponsor. Now, this is more than just a sponsorship, it's a partnership because for Present Potential, myself, and this company, we are completely aligned within our values and how we want to serve the world. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Coachbot.ai. What if great coaches could scale? I've teamed up with Coachbot.ai to build Alexis, my first coach agent, on the world's first ethical AI coach marketplace, where expert coaches become coachpreneurs, building AI assistants that guide, support, and inspire growth seekers at scale. Coachbot helps coaches who care reach seekers who dare with trusted AI. Explore the future of coaching at coachbot.ai. Thank you so much, Coachbot.ai. And the second announcement that I want to make is I've built my first coach agent. Now, this has been months in the making. What I'm going to be talking to you about is really the reason why I decided to create a coach agent, the process in which I followed, and I'll touch on the platform as well. And then finally, what it means for the future of coaching. So let's start off from the beginning. So, what was the reason that really inspired me to consider creating a coach agent? A couple of years ago, I went to a conference and one of the keynote speakers was talking about AI and coaching. They actually showed us some statistics, some studies that were done between coaching and AI, which completely blew my mind. What I've noticed is that they tracked a chart to show how a human coach and an AI coach impact the coachee. Basically, to see if there's any results from the human coach that would completely differ from AI coaches. Now, this was in 2022 or 2023. So the statistics and the data was up to then. And as we all know, AI is continuously changing on an exponentially time basis. So what I saw was that human coaches were delivering a greater impact than AI coaches. But what really stood out was how close AI coaches were to human coaches and the margin within the graph that showed the performance or the results of the coaches who used human coaches or AI coaches was becoming smaller and smaller, which really made me think about what is the future of coaching and how can we actually bridge the gap between AI and coaching. Now, I'm an executive coach and I provide one on one high performance coaching. So this is my bread and butter. And I wanted to understand how it will impact my industry because AI has been impacting all industries, whether it's from law to finance to engineering to research to writing, it could be really anything. So I wanted to understand what is the difference. Now, before you start to worry, what really put my mind at ease is that these coach agents were programmed, they were developed, so they have models that they follow. Now, if you're a coach and you're listening to this, you might be familiar with the GROW model or the CLEAR model or the OSCAR model. These are different frameworks that coaches use to guide their coaches to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. Now, because these models are publicly available and also people follow them, they have been programmed to be uploaded onto that specific coaching agent that was used for the study. So, what I understood is that coaches who follow a specific model will potentially be replaced by AI coaches because the difference between a human coach and an AI coach is that human element. It's that connection that we bring. It's our intuition, our experience, that gut feeling, that emotional intelligence that we bring to every single session and every single client that makes us stand out more. That's the difference between a human coach and a coaching agent. Now, I'm not discounting one or the other. I will continue coaching for the foreseeable future. There is so much value in that. And even when I speak to my clients, most of them are still very interested with human coaches. But what I've noticed is that there's also an interest to AI coaching. Now, the interest for me is to bring these two worlds together. And why not? Because if we are able to bring coaching at scale based on our own frameworks and models that we create that inspire transformation, wouldn't it be great for coaching to reach more people who might not be able to afford a coach or don't know what a coach is or don't have the access to have that availability? And that's why I decided to test this out. I decided to look at what I can create in terms of a coaching agent and the platform. Now, for me, I wanted to focus on three different things. Firstly, it had to be completely based on coaching. So there's a lot of ethics and guidelines that have to be built into the platform. So that was one of my non negotiable criteria. The second was that it was also built by coaches because it's so important that someone comes from the industry who understands how to build them. Now, they might not be expert coaches or professional coaches on a day to day basis, but they still understand what coaching is. And thirdly, which is most importantly as well, and a non negotiable, is that it's completely confidential and adheres to data privacy policies, which are becoming more strict. And more so, they should be more strict because data is such important. It's so powerful to keep data protected from any malware, from any viruses, from being exposed. So these were the three types of elements that I wanted to focus when I was considering a coaching agent platform. So when I was introduced to Coachbot.ai, I really liked their approach because firstly, they knew how to build a coaching agent, but more so, the founder is also a coach and is also partnering with different coaches in the industry who are thought leaders to create something that is really based on coaching. Now, I was also curious why this platform? Why am I not able to just create a coach GPT if I'm using OpenAI to prompt it to respond in a way that works? What I figured out or understood or were told is that the platform actually created an agent. But what I understand is that they were able to create a platform that is completely based on coaching ethics. Now, this is based on the EMCC or the AC or the ICF, which really highlights the importance of how coaches and coachees can connect within this platform. So that was really essential. And they've programmed the platform to be able to adhere to these type of situations where a coach is only asking questions. So a coach doesn't give answers, doesn't provide solutions, doesn't train. They really guide the client. And with the client's permission, they might be able to suggest. But this is such an important aspect of what coaching is and what coaching is not, because I've seen that there's a lot of mismatch in the world where people say that they're coaching, but they're really just giving advice. Now, if they want to give advice, then that's great. But that is not coaching. Coachbot AI is built on this framework that it is coaching and that there's no advice giving. So that already ticked a lot of boxes for me. Secondly, it's about bringing that awareness and scaling it. So understanding that coaches can use this platform to build their coaching agents without really knowing any programming language or creating their own agent or investing large sums of money to be able to create similar programs. And having someone who's also a coach understand this aspect. So that really ticked the boxes for me. And thirdly, it was because of what we want to bring to the world and also how we can develop it. And it was such an intuitive and easy platform for us to use. I tested it many times to see what I can use, what I can create, what would my clients benefit from. And there's, I would say, even unlimited applications for what we can use AI for. But what really stood out for me as well when I went onto the training and the masterclass was that it's so important to focus on just one thing that we want to create. It's so paramount because once we understand how we create one thing, we might be able then to scale it to something else. Now, this is at the essence of high performance coaching anyway. So it really ticked all the boxes that I wanted to use. So I'll tell you the story about Alexis, my coach agent, and how it came to be. I started reflecting about the importance of serving my clients even more. And what I've been hearing is that it's so important to have some sort of accountability partner. Now, I've struggled with achieving goals or objectives because I didn't have someone to follow up with, or a partner to speak with, or to check in, or to brainstorm together. And I've heard this as well from a lot of my clients. So I decided to put this to the test. And I designed Alexis, which is a coach but is also an accountability partner. Now, Alexis is a funny accountability partner. So she uses humor, sarcasm, and also a scale to ensure that we move and progress with the things that we want to do. I'll give you an example of how I've used Alexis actually yesterday. So I wanted to know whether I should be making dinner, whether I should cook or I should order out. Now, there's different obstacles on the way. And this is where I knew that I wanted to do this. And I've been cooking for the past few weeks because I'm taking a more conscious take on my health, but that's a different story. So I decided to test Alexis to see how she would be able to guide me and to take that step forward in order to ensure that I break down what I wanted to do to the smallest step in order to take action. So I asked her, what can I do in order to be able to cook at home tonight? And she helped me to break it down. She used scales, which I've prompted her and programmed her to focus on solely that, just to look at a scale from 1 to 10. That's it. And to see where the client is. If they're not at a 10, so we break it down even further so that we can get the buy in of what that even smaller step is. And this is exactly what I did. I told her that I wanted to cook, and she told me what are the obstacles. So I identified that I didn't have the ingredients to make the meal. So she asked me, so where can you go get them? And how can you get them? And when will you get them? And on a scale of 1 to 10, are you going to be doing this? And I said, no, it's about an 8 or 9 because I don't really feel motivated to go buy the ingredients. So we broke it down even further. She asked me if I wanted to create a plan or to categorize what I wanted to do in the future to be able to make that even easier to buy the ingredients, and whether it's to order or to ask someone to help me to buy the food. At the end, it really helped me to create that momentum. And I ended up going to do two things. I ran one errand and I also got the ingredients to cook the food. So for me, it completely worked. And it's just an accountability partner. So she's not going to be helping you with transformational insights or giving you a lot of research or planning your next team meetings or leadership that you can bring to your organization. She's just going to help you to be accountable to yourself. That's her role. That's all she does. And what she does is really to pinpoint the action and when it's going to be. So she breaks it down in terms of the date, the time, and also what the first step would be. Now, you might be wondering, how is this agent working? Is it online? Is it through an application? Is it on your phone? This is also something that I wanted to explore, and it was so important for me to do so too. Now, you could definitely use Alexis and all other agents that are created by Coachbot.ai online. So you could log into their website, you can create your account. There's different packages there as well that you can use if you're a growth seeker. And if you're a coach, you can also find the package that is suitable for you. Then you can create the agent and share that link with your clients. They'd be able to access the website and speak to the agent there directly. Now, for me, that works, but I want something even more convenient for my clients. So what I loved about this platform is the integration between WhatsApp or any other application that they might be using. But it's WhatsApp that I really wanted because most of my clients use WhatsApp, and you can connect your WhatsApp to the platform, and it's really secure. The company is based on data privacy. So it's so important to have consent. And it's also based on GDPR requirements in Europe, which are really strict. And I love that they're also making sure that this is protected because clients want to feel safe as possible. So you can also connect it to your WhatsApp. And this is what I have as well. Now, it's text messages, but we can take it a step further because it could also be voice. So you could actually speak to the coaching agent. Now, this is transformational for coaches who are building agents or even users because you could save so much time by just speaking to the agent directly rather than typing. You can do both. And also, this next step is what really is exciting because the agent is able to check in. We're in the process of understanding how we can create a routine or a process for the agent to be able to send a message at a specific date or time. Now, from what I know, that this is still being developed, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be rolled out pretty soon. So you could, for now, you can just get a notification at a specific date. But in the future, I'm pretty sure that it will happen. You could say when you want to be reminded in terms of the date and time and what to say. So this is really something that combines all the elements that I wanted to bring to my coaching practice because I'm serving my clients on a one-on-one basis. So we have our coaching sessions and we have transformational discussions. We have life-changing conversations. This is what I bring to the table. This is why I'm trained as a coach and also as an NLP practitioner to bring the best in me to show and prove to others that they are also full of potential to achieve the things that they want. And I have the data to back it and also the recommendations and stats from the people who have actually gone through that process. My coaching agent is only an addition to what I'm doing. So it's just going to be creating that next step to keep that momentum going. And as clients grow, there's also people who want to be more accountable and they want to have someone who can support them. Now, does the story end here? Definitely not. This is the first step for me. And if you've noticed, anything that I would approach would be done on a step-by-step basis, just to test it, just to put my feet in cold water first before I plunge in. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm testing Alexis to see how the response rates are, whether it's worth it, if she's working, if she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Then the next step is to create more coaching agents, which would be then on the marketplace on Coachbot.ai. And that's how we can bring coaching to the world at scale. There's a lot of different platforms out there. Actually, I'm not sure if there are. From what I know is that there's only a handful that actually work. And I'm really proud that I've partnered with Coachbot.ai to be a sponsor of this podcast. And I'm testing it and using it going forward. There's also going to be a link to Coachbot.ai. So you can also test the platform on your own. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the episode. Now, before we go, I just wanted to say that this is a different type of setup. And I wanted to get your feedback. If this is a better way, if it looks aesthetically pleasing and also the message is better, this is really for the people who are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope that you found value in it. And this is just the beginning. So please like, comment, let us know if you have any questions or if you want more information. And I look forward to engaging with you in the future. As always, remember that today is the most important day of your life. Until next time. Thank you for watching and listening to Present Potential. If you found value in this episode, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. Join the conversation in the comments and let us know your biggest takeaway. If you'd like to listen to other inspiring stories, check out our other episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure to also follow us on Instagram under Present Potential podcast, where you get to see behind the scenes and engage with us.